What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. So it's now law. President Donald Trump and the big, beautiful bill. I'm going to go over the new details we have in this video here and what you need to know. Also, the controversial details here on Medicaid and the millions of people that are going to lose it and what President Donald Trump said here. And I'll let you hear it in this video and the viral clips that are going viral here about what President Donald Trump said about Medicaid that are now coming back. And I'll let you hear it directly here in this video, as a lot of people are upset about that. So we'll go over that here in this video. There's, as I said here in the previous video that over 500,000 people watched, there are some good things and some bad things in this big, beautiful bill that it really depends on, okay? There's a $6,000 senior bonus, $2,200 for families, $1,000 Trump savings accounts, the largest tax cut in history, what the Republicans call it. And there's a lot of things in there. In fact, the biggest pay for is the tax cut, okay? The tax cut. In fact, all tax brackets are lowered, okay? And if they didn't pass this bill, all tax brackets would have gone up. So if essentially every American that pays taxes would have had higher taxes. So if you pretty much ask anybody, higher taxes, not a good thing. Not a good thing. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. We're going to go over the details here right now as we are live right now here on the YouTube It's Jimmy Show. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Don't forget to hit that like button for me here. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future videos, and click that notification bell so you get notifications when we go live with new videos, and help me reach 500,000 subscribers. Over 225 million people have watched our channel and join our family here on YouTube. If you're watching us on another platform, follow us there as well, as we have TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter X. Our handles there are It's Jimmy Show. All right, let's jump right in. Don't forget to hit that like button for us here as well. Take a look here. Trump signs big, beautiful bill into law in the White House ceremony as Republicans celebrate this bill and Democrats hate this bill. And you guys can let me know your thoughts on this bill here in the comments section. Do you like this bill or do you not like this bill? Let me know your thoughts here in the comment section. Remember here that Republicans passed this bill completely on their own in the House, the Senate, and the President, Donald Trump, signing this bill. Not a single Democrat voted for this bill, and only Republicans signing this bill through the reconciliation bill. Are you eligible for Trump's tax relief on tips, overtime, and Social Security? We'll go over that here, as well as millions of people are going to lose Medicaid coverage. Here is some of the details of what we have in this bill. Trump signs his signature tax cut and spending bill into law. Literally, the bill is called the Big, Beautiful Bill, after Congress met his self-imposed deadline to pass it by Independence Day, July 4th. Trump said, quote, "The golden age of America is upon us." Trump said in remarks at the White House Independence Day picnic, "It's going to be a period of time the likes of which I don't think the country has ever experienced before." Trump said, quote, the signing followed a series of intense and emotional debates over the past week on Capitol Hill. The bill passed through the Senate with votes of 50 yeses, 50 noes, and even a few Republicans voted no on it, and required Vice President J.D. Vance to break it with the tie-breaking vote for the 51st vote to pass it, for the 51st vote. Yeah. This proves exceptionally contentious over a large healthcare provisions that are set to extract hundreds of billions of dollars in government savings, but could cause or will cause millions to lose Medicaid coverage, and also has a lot of SNAP food stamp cuts. Medicaid and the inclusion of a $5 trillion debt ceiling increase were just two of the most controversial pieces of a complex bill that is set to reshape whole swaths of the U.S. economy, especially around taxes, energy, and healthcare. Provisions like no tax on tips, cuts to student loans and Pell Grant programs, changes to 529 plans for education expenses, and an increase in state tax deductions, and a range on other provisions that both businesses and consumer groups will be digesting for months. Clean energy companies are already paying perhaps the keenest attentions, with government support for EVs and solar projects set to be eliminated in years ahead due to changes in the bill. Elon Musk is not happy at all, and he said in recent days that the $3.3 trillion increase in debt expected from the bill makes a mockery of his work at DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Economists have likewise noted that the final price tag could top $4 trillion. Yeah. A committee for a responsible federal budget called, quote, a massive cover-up in a withering statement that added the bill was the single most expensive, dishonest, and reckless budget reconciliation bill ever. Wow. Yeah, so you guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comment section. Are you eligible for Trump's relief on tips, overtime, and Social Security? Yeah, so there is several different things here. He says, quote, we delivered on no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our seniors, Trump declared before signing the bill. The bill allows workers to deduct up to $25,000 in tips annually from their taxable income. This, of course, applies to jobs that actually receive tips. On overtime pay, the deduction is capped at $12,500 for single filers and $25,000 for married couples filing jointly. Most people actually don't know that there's a cap on the overtime deduction. So, yeah, that is true. So, yeah, interesting there. The relief provisions on both tips and overtime pay apply to individuals making up to $150,000 per year and $300,000 for couples. Okay, also there. The bill does not entirely eliminate taxes on Social Security, but includes a $6,000 tax deduction for seniors. That's per person. So married couples is $12,000. Eligible taxpayers can make up to $75,000 or $150,000 for married couples. And after that, it starts to phase out. This will expire. A lot of these things will expire at tax year 2028 at the end of Trump's term, after which the next Congress can pass these things again if they wish to. Another big thing is the lowering of all tax brackets, pretty much for pretty much anybody who pays taxes. If they didn't pass this bill, pretty much every single tax bracket would go up. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on that, because for the most part, more taxes would mean more money coming out of basically anybody's pockets who pays taxes. So that was set to expire. The 2017 Trump tax cuts were set to expire here at the end of this year. So had they not passed that, it would basically mean more taxes for almost anybody who pays taxes. So that was the largest pay for in this bill. That was the most expensive thing in this bill. And if you ask almost anybody, paying more taxes to the government, nobody really wants to pay more taxes. If you remember the Boston Tea Party and coming over from England and, we separated from them was based on taxes and we didn't want to pay them. Interestingly enough, funnily enough, is that that was a tariff. Okay, that was actually technically a tariff. So, ironically, you guys can let me know your thoughts on that. But most people don't want to pay more taxes. So I think universally, most people can agree, most people want less taxes. Okay. However, there's some things in here that a lot of people will not agree on, and that is one of the biggest one here is the controversial one is Medicaid. Okay. And as you can see here, and the writing has been on the wall for a while. I've been saying this for a while because the writing's been on the wall for a while. Millions of people are going to lose Medicaid coverage from this bill being passed. Yeah. You can see it here. Congress approves nearly $1 trillion in cuts to Medicaid, threatening disability services. And also there were several hundred billion dollars in cuts to SNAP, aka food stamps, as well. Now, they have done this through several different ways, but the number one way they're doing this is by putting work requirements on Medicaid for people under 64 years of age and under, okay? Putting work requirements on that, okay? This will go into effect at the end of next year, 2026. I believe it's December 31st, right after the midterms, okay? That's very deliberate. Okay, right after the midterms, this will go into effect, and so right after the midterm votes is when this will actually kick in. So a little bit over a year from now. Okay, now even Republicans have been saying they were not going to make any changes to Medicaid. They were not going to make any changes at all to Medicaid, and now these clips are reappearing. And people knew they were going to make the changes to Medicaid, whether you're Republican, Democrat, or anything. And these clips are now going viral. Take a listen here.
We're not going to touch it. Medicaid, we're not going to do anything with that. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched. We're not cutting Medicaid. We're not changing Medicaid. Here's what I want on Medicaid. We're not touching anything. Just as I promised, there will be no cuts. There won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it. Medicaid, we're not going to do anything with that. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched. We're not cutting Medicaid. We're not changing Medicaid. Here's what I want on Medicaid. We're not touching anything. Just as I promised, there will be no cuts. There won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it. Medicaid, we're not going to do anything.
Now, here's the thing, is that those clips were from January, February, April, and May, when, these bills, they knew what were in the bill, and they said they're not even going to touch. This is Trump saying they're not even going to touch it. He knew what was going to be in the bills, so you guys can let me know your thoughts on there. Then there's also this clip.
What happens if it comes to your desk, has the tax cuts, but also cuts to Medicaid? Would you veto that?
Well, we're not doing that.
Would you veto that?
I would if they were cutting it.
What happens if it comes to your desk, has the tax cuts, but also cuts to Medicaid? Would you veto that?
Well, we're not doing that.
Would you veto that?
I would if they were cutting it.
So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this here in the comments section, but some estimates are saying that at least 17 million Americans will lose Medicaid because of the changes with the big, beautiful bill that has just passed. So let me know your thoughts here in the comment section. Again, some people are for this, some people are against this. I'm just reporting to you guys what is being said, what is happening, and this is what is now law. Here's what's also interesting is that House Speaker Mike Johnson has already said that there is another reconciliation bill coming that Republicans will pass on their own as well. So House Speaker Mike Johnson has already said that there's going to be another bill after this that Republicans are going to pass on their own. So what will that have? Will that have the Doge stimulus checks in there? What will be in there? Will there be even more things in there? This will be interesting to see, so I'll keep you up to date here on that as well. So make sure to share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos and updates. It's completely free to do so. And click the bell icon afterwards so you get notifications. Click here for more details about the $2,200 and $6,000 in the big, beautiful bill that just passed, or click here to see the Fed's announcement and Trump's announcement that they just made. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.